Hi friends and fellow earth angels, it's Gladys and welcome back to my weekly card reading, and this spread will cover March 17th to the 23rd. So happy St. Patrick's Day to those who are celebrating. Happy St. Joseph's Day to those who are celebrating. This week we also have the spring equinox. And on the same day, we have the full moon. So we have some, what I want to say, gorgeous energy coming in. And one of the messages that I keep getting to share with the group is that we're coming into the end of a cycle. Like cycles are ending, things are releasing. There's this kind of final purge energy. So I'm just experiencing like bottom of the barrel energy coming up. So maybe some shadow stuff, for some people, some weaknesses, some things that you've been kind of holding in, I feel like is coming up. And I just encourage you to have patience with yourself through the process. Again, it's the ending of a cycle. We're leaving the winter energy and we're going into the spring energy, which is birthing the new. If you've been following April the giraffe, she just had her second baby, and I followed her last year, her journey last year when she had her baby, and I followed it again this year. And the new baby giraffe is so cute. He's just running around the stall and he's just having a grand old time. And you know, when I watch things like that, it just reminds me of how amazing life is and how beautiful and in sync everything is. So I felt like watching the birth of this new baby was kind of like the beginning of something new for me and for all those who are watching, and the planet in general. So it's an exciting energy. I am just getting back from a long weekend in Newport celebrating St. Patrick's Day. I have an 8th Irish, so I was celebrating my 8th, and the people that I was more than an 8th Irish. So we had a wonderful weekend where we just happened to be at the right place at the right time all weekend with right people. So it was just fun. It was a nice time to kind of get away, and so I encourage you to do the same. If you can find those moments of joy and get out and have some fun, it really is a wonderful recharger. So I, in celebration of the spring equinox, have earth energy this week. So the cards I'll be using, I'll be starting with crystal angels, and then I'll be pulling from the moonology deck to connect with the full moon energy. I will be using my butterfly oracle cards, as well as my children's spirit animal cards, and finishing up with earth magic. So those will be the decks that I'll be using, and let me begin. So I'm going to open space by inviting in all our guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, all holy beings of light that would like to assist with this guidance today. God, source, creator of the universe. And I ask that the messages that come through for us this week be for our best and highest good and the best and highest good of all concerned. I'm also going to ask that the messages that come through, they come through loud and clear for everybody watching now and in the future. Okay, so let me start with crystal angels. So what energy would like to come forth this week with the crystal angels? Wow, that one just kind of flew out, so we'll go with that. Dolomite? Interesting, I've never seen this. Stay strong in your faith. Oh, I love this. A positive outcome is dependent on you keeping a positive mindset. Wow, look how beautiful that energy is. So I'm already feeling that as I started the reading, I talked about us coming to the end of a cycle and a final phase. So it can really be easy to fall into that space that nothing is happening and I've been doing all this work and I feel like I'm in the same place or nothing's coming into fruition. And I feel like this card is saying trust. Trust in the divine, trust in the universe. I brought in my Ganeshas this week. Ganesha is the remover of obstacles. I also brought in some clear quartz energy as well. It's a very cleansing energy. And I brought in the violet fire of light energy. So this is an instant transmutation tool. So my intention is that those that are watching now and in the future is that this energy will clear, cleanse, transmute. We're going into the energy of the full moon, which is a purging energy. So I ask that the violet fire of light, which is governed or watched over and utilized by Saint Germain. He works with sacred geometry and he shifts energy. So he would be a really great guide to connect with this week. I also have my divine wisdom energy here too, so that you're tapping into or guided to tap into your own inner wisdom. And I feel like this is saying, like, you're at the end of the cycle, stay strong in your faith and don't give up. I think it's a beautiful energy to come forth. It's very feminine with a soft pink energy. And you know, so if you're being hard on yourself and things are being tough, for me this morning, I was walking along the water down in Newport going to get a coffee, and I just took some time to just stand there and just send out any energy that I was ready to release out to the universe. And of course the wind picked up and it was beautiful. So I would say this week, stay in the present and just be mindful of those little things that bring you joy. You know, take those moments and really appreciate nature and what the universe or God has provided for us in its most simplest form. When I was driving home, I saw a hawk flying above. I have a sunroof that I usually keep the shade open, and it was so cool to drive by him or her, the hawk energy, and watch him, you know, briefly from my sunroof soar. So I really just kind of absorbed the earth medicine, and I just asked that hawk medicine to just kind of fill me up and guide me and help me stay above, like, you know, those details that you can get lost in. So let's pull in moon energy. So I'd like to pull these cards. I'd like to pull a card and connect with the moon energy this week. What message does the full moon have for us this week as we're coming into the spring equinox? What message for the moon? Okay, let's see. Well, let's see. This one kind of flew out over here. So we have, look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sag. Yay! So this is exactly what I mean about the hawk energy. Hawk energy, it means, or hawk medicine, it means rise above and keep your eye on the prize. So this week, I feel like moon energy is asking us to rise above the details and not get caught in what hasn't come into fruition yet, what you don't have, the appearance of things. You know, we're in the world of illusions energy. I have malachite and jade here as well, which is a powerful energy too. So just enveloping in this energy can help you, again, like rise above and keep your eye on the prize. So when I was standing by the water this morning, I set that intention out of how I wanted to feel. For example, this weekend, we just kind of went with the flow and showed up wherever we were guided, and it was perfect. And I felt like I wanted to send that energy out there and be guided to all the right people, places, things, and ideas. And so sometimes it can appear that you're a little lost. It can appear, you know, that you're getting caught up in details. And I feel like this moon energy is asking you to kind of rise above and focus on the energy of how you want to feel. So obviously I want to feel balanced and peaceful and joyful. I want to be surrounded by loving energy and loving people. I want to be surrounded by inner peace as well. So when you can kind of rise above the how, when, what if, what do I have to do, all the action, and settle into that energy of this is how I want to feel, bring me more of this or something even better. It gives you a chance to look at the bigger picture. And again, look at the colors of these cards are very similar. There's this gorgeous pink energy that's coming in. Now, I have to say, I'm also feeling the Mother Mary energy. It's interesting. I almost pulled her cards, but I didn't because I wanted to pull like earth-based energies. So it's funny she's coming in anyway. I see her surrounded by like beautiful pink roses, soft energy. So maybe this is a message for some of you to connect with the Mother Mary. Mother Mary's energy represents nurturing, divine love, and comfort. So if things have been, I don't know, challenging for you, I keep using that word challenging. I want to kind of go deeper on that. If things have been unsure or uncertain, or that feeling of when comes up for you, I feel guided to tell you to call on the Mother Mary and ask her to comfort you. It's kind of, she reminds me of like that child that just snuggles into a mother's lap and just receives love and hugs. So maybe some of you need that this week, some nurturing energy from Mother Mary. Okay, let's go into the butterfly deck. This is the energy of like transformation and change. Again, we're having a birthing energy coming up, a lot of new energies coming up, and I think the butterfly is a beautiful energy to connect with that space. So, all right, butterflies, what message do you have for us this week? What message do you want us to know? Stay in the light. That's a message that I'm getting. Peace. Some of you may have to really work at surrounding yourself in peace. Okay, butterfly. Deck. Religion and spirituality. Interesting. Stay strong in your faith. Look at the bigger picture, higher power, looking up. And then we also have religion and spirituality. Beautiful card. So I feel like this card is reminding you to stay connected. Maybe some extra meditation this week. Maybe some extra connection with Mother Earth this week. Excuse me, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. This may be a week for you to explore your religion and spirituality. Are you kidding? I'm just noticing, friends, pink roses. Do you see them? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to get my Mother Mary deck and pull a card. I mean, this is how it works, you see? So you're seeing like how intuition works and how one step leads to another. Again, heart energy, pink energy, Mother Mary. So maybe connecting with the essence of Mother Mary. Maybe you grew up in a religion and you kind of got away from that energy. Maybe you've gotten lost in details and you're trying to figure everything out. So I feel like this card is a reminder for you that you don't work alone, that there are guardian angels and guides and God, source, creator of the universe, and all beings of light that want to assist. So when we think about the miracle of life, it is so profound, and it's one of those things that we can't control as humans on this planet. And that's why it's still a miracle of life. You know, it happens when it's supposed to, and it can be beautiful, and it can also be challenging and scary all at the same time. So I feel like God is saying that some of you are birthing new experiences, new ideas, new energies, and it's the contractions that make things tough, right? So if you're feeling those uncomfortable feelings this week. Know that you're in that like maybe birthing canal, being pushed out of something more positive. So this would be a great week to really explore your spirituality. Maybe watch some videos. So I love watching spiritual preachers on YouTube. So some of my favorites are T.D. Jakes and Joel Osteen, Joyce Meyer. Who else? Those are some of my favorites that come to mind. But I also watch some spiritual teachers and mentors as well. So this may be a week for you to, if you have YouTube, one of my favorite things to do is like kind of go through my YouTube and just ask God to send me a message, send me a guide. So I might put in like Joel Osteen and just scroll through videos that come up and ask God to speak to me through these preachers. And I think the cool thing is sometimes these videos are years old, and maybe some of you new subscribers, just like you maybe found yourself to my channel and you're going through old videos and they're resonating with you. That's how the power of the divine works. So maybe reconnecting with your spirituality. Some of you, it may be Mother Earth, and maybe that's your way to reconnect and get outside. It's gorgeous here. It's been 40s and 50s here in Rhode Island, and maybe this is like getting back to the essence of the simple things. So connecting with God, keeping the faith, looking at the bigger picture. Oh, I love it when it all comes together. So let's see here. I'm going to go with the spirit animals, and these are cute little cards for kids. I think it's nice to bring in this energy, softer energy, a lighter energy, a newer energy. Okay, what animal would like to connect with us this week? What animal would like to come forth? What message, animal medicine, you have for us this week? Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. So we have bear. Bear energy. Stand up for yourself. Bear is one of my totem animals. I love the bear. So I have a grizzly bear totem animal that walks on my right side. And when the bear stands up, it's like this power energy of protection. So some of you this week may need to set boundaries. Some of you may need to use your voice. You may get pushed to stand up for yourself. Again, life is happening for you and not against you. So remember that any hiccups and bumps that comes along the way is actually happening for you and helping to strengthen you. So I want to read the book on this one. Stand up for yourself. Oh, I feel like there's a deeper message here as well. Bear. I love the bear. So it says, Bear says, this is his time to stand up for yourself and trust your instincts. Makes so much sense with intuition, connecting with the bigger picture, keeping the faith. It says, be brave when facing others who don't approve of you or don't like what you have to say, especially when you express something you truly believe in. It's not about you being right and making other people wrong, but about trusting in what you believe. Although it's nice when others agree with you, it's really not necessary that they do, but it's necessary to treat them with respect no matter what. It says stand up for yourself. Standing up for yourself is always different than taking a stand against someone or something. It takes courage to do so, but it also takes courage to know when to let go and when to compromise. If in doubt, ask a trusted adult, such as your mother or father, it could be God, Mother Mary, or your mother or father, to support you or guide you in a different way to handle the situation. Beautiful. I love it. So as you're going through this metamorphosis, part of you is changing, and the people that knew you before this change, or as you're going, they may get scared or nervous or afraid, and sometimes that energy can come in and squash your spirit a little bit. You know, maybe they mean it, maybe they don't. But this week may be a week as I channel the energy of this, to express your feelings to somebody. So if you've been holding something in for fear of either taking a next step or fear of not wanting to hurt somebody's feelings or feelings of not knowing how you feel, this may be a week to speak up and express your feelings. Again, it's all coming in this loving place. So if you've been in a space where you're holding something back, if you've been stuffing or swallowing, this may be the week. Again, it doesn't feel like bully energy, like you have to protect yourself kind of energy. It almost feels like stand up for yourself and express how you are feeling to someone or something. So if you need to have that conversation with a boss or a coworker, call in the Mother Mary energy, call in the divine to assist you. Archangel Gabriel is a great angel to help you with communication. I'm feeling that some of you, and again, it's a general read, so it may not resonate with everybody. I think some of you may be bottling things up and holding back, expressing yourself, asking for something, telling somebody something. I feel like this card is saying, let it out, bite the bullet, put it out there, express how you feel. Again, not from a place of you this, you that, but from a place of, I need to tell you this. This is how I've been feeling. This is what I need. There's this anger vibration that's been coming up and this resentment and bitterness energy that's been coming up to clear. And bitterness, the root of that energy is unmet needs. And I feel like so many of us, men and women, are getting to the core of our needs. We need connection, we need love, we need support, we need comfort, we need to be guided spiritually. And, you know, if you have had an upbringing or, you know, you've been in unhealthy relationships or an unhealthy work environment or family dynamic, this may be a week for you to get things off your chest. Some of you, so you know what I'm thinking about? It's the full moon, duh. So this week is a really great time to get things off your chest. If you've been holding back, I hear the phrase, say what you need to say. I think that's a John Mayer song. Say what you need to say. Yeah, so even, oh my gosh, it's so funny. I just looked at the clock. It's 22:22. Have faith. Have faith, trust in the divine. So again, this is more validation that this may be a week to get things off your chest. If there's been something, again, you've been wanting to say to somebody, it could be words of love. Maybe you've been holding back and you haven't been wanting to, maybe you're afraid to say something to somebody. Maybe, I don't know, you've been holding it in. So again, I would suggest coming from a place of love, calling on Mother Mary, calling on Archangel Gabriel, asking for their assistance with communication. Maybe you need to express something to yourself, so even journaling or writing would be a powerful time as the spring equinox comes in. It's interesting, the full moon cycle is a time for releasing, and in the same end, we're getting this birthing of this new energy. So it's almost, it's going back to the beginning of the reading when I said it's like the ending of a cycle, like things are wrapping up. So again, I feel like that circle energy or that infinity sign where things are coming and going, that 8 vibration. So this may be a week to kind of get things off your chest. Say what you need to say, trust in the divine. Again, with detaching from an expected outcome and allowing things to unfold as they may. You may be pleasantly surprised. So instead of just, again, because we're still in the Mercury retrograde energy, instead of getting to the point where you just spill everything out or just kind of bottles up and then explodes, sit in meditation and really think about how you want to express yourself, coming from your own heart and your own energy. Wow, that's really cool. So let me go into Earth Magic deck. So let me connect with the Mother Earth. I have her deck too. I may need to read her card. So let's see. Let me connect with the Mother Earth energy. What message do you have for us this week? Mother Earth, Gaia, Divine Feminine. Oh, I love her energy. I just see seeds being planted. What message do you have for us this week, Mother Earth? Show us your magical energy. Let's go with this one. Milky Way perspective. Interesting. So I feel like before I read the book, this perspective, I feel like this card is saying see both sides. Your perspective may be different from others. It's interesting where I see the Milky Way. In the Milky Way, I feel this is like up above, and this says look at the bigger picture. And I feel like maybe this card is asking God in meditation for his perspective, or the divine creator, whatever that higher power is for you. I feel like, you know, before you have this conversation, before you get things off your chest, ask for a different perspective. See things from both sides. Step out of that I, me, maybe that ego energy, and go into the space of let me rise above and see the perspective of all people involved. And maybe ask yourself, so if you want to have a conversation with somebody, or you need to ask for something, you want to get something off your chest, you want to clear the air, or you just want to tell somebody something heartfelt, ask yourself. So if you've been maybe scorned, or maybe hurt, or you're feeling unheard, or your needs aren't being met, ask yourself too, maybe there's a reason for that. So I've been trying, like, you know, when I feel like my needs aren't being met, or I feel like I'm not being heard, I pull myself out of that ego energy that wants to just throw up the walls. I pull back and I ask God for a different perspective, and I ask myself, well, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe there's a reason why that person did that, or maybe there's a reason why, and I don't understand it. So maybe I can release that, and instead of going into things like a bull and attacking like a bear, I ask God to maybe soften my vibration and my energy and give me another perspective. So I'm less, let's say, I try to be less impulsive and more creative in the way I express myself. So Milky Way energy. I want to read the book too, because I don't use these cards very often. They're deep. So I want to see what the message is from the book. Bear with me. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Let me just see here. It says the Milky Way is said to be one of billions of galaxies in the observable universe. It contains between 200 to 400 billion stars. The one most familiar to us being the sun. Oh man, so the sun energy. I keep connecting with the sun energy. I've been catching sunsets. I've just been drawn to sunsets. And I was watching something the other day. The Leo King, David Palmer. He's pretty wild, but he's pretty awesome and pretty legit in his astrology. And he mentioned that the sunsets was Jesus walking across the sky, walking across the water, or the horizon. And that really hit me. And it was so powerful because I've been drawn to the sunsets and I've been really loving that energy. So I've been taking pictures, and for me, I just imagine it's Jesus crossing behind me. So sun energy is a very masculine energy. I know I'm kind of going off the track a little bit, but maybe this will resonate. So if you can get out in the sun, when the sun rays hit your skin, it activates the vitamin D on your skin. And we all know that vitamin D is what brings us happiness. It can help lighten our mood and help us feel better. So I'm not saying go out and bake in the sun. That's not what I'm saying. But 5 or 10 minutes of just maybe some sunshine on your face may help with recharging. And remember, the sun is what helps things to grow. I think it's so beautiful. We have moon energy and we have sun energy coming in. Let me go into the message here. It says, you have lost your perspective So it's time to step back, breathe, and allow yourself to detach in order to gather information from your senses and regain your perspective about the situation. Interesting. So maybe you've gotten caught up in your head. Maybe you've made up these stories of this and that and this person and that person and what's going on in the world. Maybe you've gotten caught in the world of illusions and it's kind of sucking you in like quicksand for some of you. And I feel like this card is saying lighten the mood, pull back. This is where the meditation is. Oops, sorry. Have faith, look at the bigger picture, connect with God and spirituality, or the Mother Earth energy as well, and get a different perspective. It says detachment does not mean that you no longer care. It simply indicates that you are looking at things from a different point of view. It's an outlook that is not clouded by emotions, judgment, or attachment to outcome, but instead maintains a non-reactive awareness of these things. Again, it goes back to that question I asked myself. Maybe there's a reason for that. You know, when something happens or something comes up that, you know, I didn't expect, it throws me off course, or something that I feel like may be like disrespectful or something, I pull back and I really just ask myself, well, maybe there's a reason. You know, I understand that people have a lot of stress and there's a lot going on. And I really believe, you know, even being out with so many people this weekend, when sometimes I have a hard time being out with so many people, but I really prepared for it this weekend, and I really could kind of be in the perspective of just watching people have fun. We met so many people. We were just talking to random people and having fun. And if you can get out in the world, you'll see that people are really good. People mean well. People have big hearts. And so if something's happening to you or somebody's doing something from you, now I'm not saying, and again, this is that part of stand up for yourself, but also understand maybe there's a reason. You know, there's a lot of loss that's going on for people, a lot of shifts, a lot of changes. For many of you, your life now looks very, very different from, you know, even last year. And so sometimes that can make people prickly and ornery and scared and confused. So instead of getting drawn into that, maybe pull yourself out of it. Give people a pass on their energy in a way where you can pull out of it instead of continuing to go there and fighting for, you know, your own, I don't know, position, and stand up for yourself where you give yourself a chance to get things off your chest. I hope that makes sense. It says the witness, that internal aspect of yourself that simply observes everything in your life. Interesting, the witness, they call it the witness. I call it higher power, divine, or your soul maybe. It says through these lenses of pure awareness, you can examine all aspects of your experiences, physical, emotional, and mental, without denying anything. By doing so, you will come to understand a greater perspective that is typically justified by the ego, which allows you to see what is before you with clear vision and an open mind. So I feel like we started this deck with God reminding us, let me see this message once again. A positive outcome is dependent on you keeping a positive mindset. Again, if you're in yucky energy, guess what you're going to attract? Yucky energy. I've done that many times in my life. So I'm also myself in my own personal life is seeing more clarity into things and understanding why things have happened, why things, again, in the world, and then with myself, and then with friendships and experiences that I'm having, I'm seeing things from a different perspective. Meaning, go back within yourself and ask yourself, okay, how am I creating this, and how can I shift it so I'm creating more of what I do want? So those are my cards that I set out, but hold on one second. I want to grab the Mother Mary deck because I think she's come in very clearly in this energy. So let me just, oh God, where is she? Oh boy, hold on a second. I'm attached here. She's on the bottom. Let's see. So I just want to pull out my Mother Mary deck. So what you don't see off camera when I do a reading is, oh my God. You know what? I was going to shuffle and show you how I do it, but the first card that spilled out, I don't know if you saw it. It came out. I picked it up. I was going to put it back in the deck and shuffle. But you know what? Look, it's fallen out of my hand. I'm going to keep it. So I'm just going to pretend that the energy is clear because this fits so perfectly. And the card that literally just fell out of the deck, maybe she's like, come on, Gladys, get on with it. You don't need to do all this stuff. People got things to do. I feel like it just popped out, so I'm going to take it. And the card is giving and receiving. And her message is, I balance being generous and receptive because both are equally important. Because both are equally important. So balance, the yin yang energy, the moon, the sun, the dark, the light. I feel like that's the infinity symbol I keep seeing. Eights. I've been seeing eights everywhere. I love 8 energy. But I feel like this card is reminding you to, as much as you're giving, allow yourself to be receptive and receiving. And that also means receiving from the divine. Pausing and giving yourself some time to be with God, whatever that means to you. Maybe you love just going by the water. Maybe you love to catch a sunset. I love sunsets. I'm not a morning person, so I'm not one to get up and actually catch a sunrise. So this sunset is more ideal for me. But maybe catching something in the universe. Maybe going to a class. Maybe there'll be gong baths or sound healings or a yoga class or something where you can just get in that. Maybe a church or a spiritual church or maybe a place that's just a gathering. Maybe you just show up. Maybe you can get to a retreat or something. Or ask God to send you a retreat energy and give yourself some time to fill up and recharge and really appreciate and sit in the new energy instead of maybe blasting through the week with all the have-tos and shoulds. All right, I'm going to leave it there. This is a perfect way to end it. Giving and receiving. All right. So let me close space. And I'd like to thank all our guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance today. And especially Mother Earth and all her earthly energies that collaborated with this reading. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done in mind, body, spirit, and emotions in all ways. All right, friends. So I have had to cancel and I will reschedule the Angel Oracle card workshop that I had scheduled on March 31st. I was really excited about it, but I've had some family stuff come up and things are kind of just up in the air right now. So I've needed to reschedule. Please bear with me with classes. I know I've been getting emails for you wanting me to teach, and this teaching has been on pause for me. I just launched my new website, so bear with me with that as well. I have text that I have to edit, and there's some things that I still have to do. But if you're around and you want to check out my new website, it is mobile friendly now, and it looks gorgeous on the desktop or the laptop. If you want to check that out. Now my podcast is streamed through there. My YouTube channel is streamed through there. I feel like it matches my vibration that I am now. So I've been working on a foundation. For me personally, over the last year and a half, my foundation was really rocked. I felt like the universe came in with a jackhammer and just shook things up for me. So I've been in a place personally of like disorientation and trying to figure out what I really want. I feel like things are finally falling into place for me. So thank you so much for your patience. I will be teaching a Reiki 2 and 3 class. I'll be teaching a Reiki Master Teacher class. I'm thinking April, early May. I will do a Angel Oracle card workshop. You know, I'm thinking maybe now I'll combine it with an intuition training. I might do a retreat so you guys aren't driving back and forth. I may rent a space and just do a retreat, an intuition weekend, a long weekend, maybe a Friday night into like a Sunday. So I'm in the works. I have a lot of shifting and changing that I'm doing. So I thank you for all of those of you who have been following me, who have stuck with me through my changes and growth. It's amazing watching you guys change and grow, and I can't thank you enough for your referrals. I love working with families. That's one of the big part of my business. I work with wives, I work with your husbands, I work with your children, I work with your parents, and I work with your friends. So thank you so much for trusting me with those beautiful people in your life, and I'm just really glad to do it. I'm finally settling into this new energy that I'm in. So I know things have been kind of up in the air, and I know you've been asking me, and I've tried, and I really just have to stick with my intuition and do one thing at a time. So bear with me. There are some, if you're feeling guided, you're like, I am ready to learn this or do this and I can't wait, there are some fabulous teachers out there, especially in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. There's some fabulous teachers. So just really go with your gut and your gut instincts and go where you're guided. Trust the divine. Speaking of trusting the divine, thank you for watching. And if you haven't heard it yet today, I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine. Trust your intuition. And I send you love with heavenly hugs. Have a wonderful week, friends. Bye for now.